for-profit acquisition, the assets could be substantial. In a traditional sale, the first one I was involved with was at Empire Health Services. Abel has some familiarity with that system, as it was about 100 miles from his shop. The asset was about $180 million. The debt was about 85 to 90 million. So it was the balance that was left over was going to provide for a conversion foundation. That's where you start really getting into a lot of political issues in terms of who's going to be on that board of the new conversion foundation. What is its purpose going to be? How aligned will it be to the first purpose of the old Empire Health Deaconess Foundation? And finally, the acquirer, unlikely to care. In a lot of cases, they will. Now, in Empire, there was a specific clause that the buyer put in that no funds from the conversion foundation could be used to benefit the competing hospital system, a nonprofit system, for I believe 5 years. So essentially, it was Community Health Services, CHS, out of Nashville. I think they all are out of Nashville. They were putting in close to $200 million. They simply didn't want any of their funds that they just funded in October to be used, say, within a few months to go to the competing hospital. So again, you got a lot of different players and a lot of different things that one has to consider. We'll get into a little bit more of that about that. So essentially, your community asset is going to go to become part of a for-profit chain. It's going to be either owned by a traditional for-profit Wall Street firm such as Tenet or HCA or CHS. One newer development is you're having a lot of private equity firms that are coming together and they're finding hospital management people and they're employing them and they're putting them in charge of the hospital, because the private equity people, they just accumulate the cash. And we're seeing this higher growth largely because of the reduced interest rate level. You know, it used to be that you could just throw some money out there and you'd earn 5 to 6% on it without really having to worry about it. Well, what PE firms have figured out is that if the EBITDA was somewhere in the 9 to 10% range, we can get it to 18 to 20. We can double their EBITDA or their free cash flow from operations, right? And that's where they make their money. So essentially, what you have to remember is that you're going to have to do, your organization is going to hire some consulting firm to handle the sale. In one case, it was Kane Brothers out of San Francisco. In the daughter's case, it was Houlihan Lokey out of Chicago. In no way am I promoting those particular organizations, but you may have run across them in some of the trades. They handle all the nuts and bolts of the sale transaction. So they're trying to make sure that at the local hospital level, you just focus on your operations. You focus on patient care, on quality, on all those good things that we do every single day. But, okay, now you've got this, let's be honest, you got an 800-pound gorilla that may not be on your back, but he sure has got his hands on your shoulders. Well, there's a potential sale that's coming down the pike. So how do you start to mentally prepare yourself and your donors? That's part of the journey. So I'm going to